Nikki Tyler. Actually, I have signed the contract, but I don't know if I'm going to actually follow through with it. I actually, today where I went was to the office, and I had to like renegotiate some things, move some things around, how I want them to be, and I didn't think he would, so I thought that that would be how I would get out of it, but he did change it out to be the way I wanted it to be. So one thing about that company is they are very willing to work with the girls on what they feel comfortable doing, what they will do, what they won't do. They definitely don't push you to do anything you don't want to do. This kind of all came about because I decided I was going to dance, and I've been doing makeup for them for a little over a year, and I have had the chance, and my husband has had the chance to see how things work in their company and how they run their sets and who works on the sets and who directs. And basically I decided if I was going to do any movies that at first I said I was going to do just girls, and then the owner offered for me and my husband to work.
That's cool.
And he didn't want to. But I also thought I didn't really want him to, because he's got kind of a background of not having done this, and I kind of do, just from having done the magazines. So for me, it would just be one more step in the adult industry. For him, it'd be like taking this big leap into something that was going to affect his life. For me, basically, I've already done things where people go, how can you do that? What do your parents think? What do you get grossed out when you look at the magazines? Are there sleazy people? So it's just one more step in my mind of what I would have to deal with. The only thing, I was going to just do girls, and I was going to be totally fine with that. But in order to, I just never thought that they would offer me a contract, and it came to the point where they did, but I would have to do guys. And they wanted me to work with my husband, and he decided no. He said he'd rather me work with other guys.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's nice of him.
And I don't know what I think of that. I mean, I don't really want to, because to tell you the truth, I think all the guys in the adult industry are pretty
sleazy,
not very attractive to me.
Oh.
It might be because I know them on a personal level from being makeup artist, and they're actor, and so I've seen them across the year. I've seen how they've changed. It's like I know them on a more personal level, so it's not like, I don't know. And then for me to jump in there as an actress when they've been seeing me as makeup artist for so long would be kind of, I don't know, just a weird feeling. And same with the crews too. The crews would all of a sudden hear I'd be in front of the camera instead of behind the camera. And but the main thing is, it's come about because I want to dance, and I want to dance so that I can buy a business. And the bottom line is, if you're under contract with Vivid, you make a lot more money on the road. And they've offered to do a ton of promotion, and they've offered to really, really push me on the dancing part of it, as far as work with the agents and advertising in magazines, and just a bunch of different stuff that I never really thought of. So this week has been like the biggest change in my life, because it's like all these things are coming at me at once, and it's like I have to make a decision that's really, really going to affect my life, and I don't know what I'm going to decide to do yet. I mean, I'm kind of a lot more heading towards it. I think I probably will. I'll do 5 movies, and I'll only do, probably over the course of the 5 movies, 3 different guys, and wear condoms, of course. And
oh, really? Vivid lets you wear condoms?
they're pretty much mandatory for whoever wants to wear them.
That's good.
DNA HIV tests are mandatory every 30 days. Not all companies do that because they're $175 just to get the DNA test. So all that part of it I feel comfortable with. The only part I feel uncomfortable with is fucking another guy on screen. I mean, just fucking another guy in general, whether it would be on screen or not, because I really love my husband, and my husband and I are with other girls, but we're not with other guys. So, I mean, he has sex with other girls, but for me to have sex with other guys is a little bit different, because I kind of advocate him being with other girls, and for me to be with another guy, I just don't really choose that in my own personal life. I'm not really attracted to other guys, so it'd be more of definitely be an acting situation. So it should be interesting. I don't know. I'll have to update you as things happen. I am doing, though, tomorrow, actually, I am doing a movie with Celeste, and I'm just doing Celeste.
Cool.
And we're going to be on the box cover together, and that is for Vivid. But that was negotiated before the contract came about. And I think that's going to be fun. I'm not nervous about that at all. I'm actually looking forward to it. But the whole guy thing, it's just the guy thing. It's just being with a guy. And I feel like with two girls, it's an equal, you're on an equal boundaries, where it's kind of a respect thing that girls have between each other, kind of a bond type thing. But when you bring a guy and a girl, it's almost like, unless it's some bondage thing where the girl is supposed to be dominant, the guy always has a dominant figure in the couple of the two because he's penetrating the woman. So it's kind of like the girl's put in the submissive position. Just because that's the way God made it to be. And that kind of makes me feel a little uncomfortable, just because I'm not the one in control all of a sudden. So I think I probably will do it, just because it's only 5 movies and I'd only have to do 5 boy-girl scenes total over a course of a year. And it wouldn't be my long-term ambition to keep doing it. And to me, 5 guys over the course of a year is not much. Most girls probably do more in their personal lives if they're single. So I'm not real worried about that. And I am tending to narrow it down to about 3 and use 2 of the guys twice and 1 of the guys once. And so that's about it.
Well, what are your preferences for the guys you're going to be working with?
Well, after having done makeup on these sets, I really think that I prefer the guys that have been in the business a lot longer than those that just got in the business, because those that just get in the business think they're these big fuck studs and that they can, pound the shit out of you and that they're really studly and you really want to fuck them. But the truth of the matter is, everybody's there to make money. No one's really there to just fuck this person, because if they were, they'd do it in their personal life. And the guys that have been in the business a really long time, they're used to coming, doing their job, doing it right. They don't have a problem getting it up. There's never, because if he does, then you're there that much longer in this situation that may not be the most comfortable for you, and you have to wait for him to get it up to go. And a lot of girls don't like that, and a lot of the guys that are new in the business have problems with that.
If they're having a hard time, would they ask you to help them out?
I think they do sometimes. I think it probably depends on the chemistry between the two people. There's a lot of times where I've seen scenes go on where the girl and the guy absolutely hate each other, and they just happen to be put together by a director, or they may have chosen to do it before, but by the time they do the movie, they just don't like each other anymore. But they end up doing it, and once it's over, they go their own ways, and that's it.
Do you prefer men with the bigger penises or the smaller ones?
Smaller, actually. One of the reasons why I won't be working with a lot of these guys is because I think they'll tear me apart. Because I'm tiny. And I can't handle the big ones. I've always, and one thing that my husband says is, honey, if you can't handle me slamming you, I don't know how you're going to handle one of these guys doing it, because I'm small. I'm just like, I don't know. I said, I'm just going to have to be prepared for this. I'll have to get worked out before the first scene. Take a strap on that's bigger. I'll give it to my roommate. Well, Suze finds rubber very sexy. And she all of a sudden turns into this wild woman when you have rubber on.
Really?
I don't know why, but she even said it herself. Something about rubber does something for me. Like Suze says, fuck her up the ass. Where's that? Oh, Suze said that I just looked like I was supposed to have a black strap-on in that moment, and that would have been nice, but she didn't bring one to me.
What would you have done if you'd put one on?
Used it.
Ooh, really? Okay, next question. So, how did she taste?
Yeah, I didn't taste Sabrina. I don't know if she's into that or not, and I don't ever like to put a girl in the position if she's not, because I just
don't make them feel.
Yeah, I don't think that's very polite, and I know that I have a whole shoot to do with them, and the last thing I want to do is create something uncomfortable between me and the other model, because it's really important that we both stay happy and comfortable and in good mood, so that everything moves a lot quicker. Actually, I get bored with sex a lot. I'm not a real sexual person all the time. I go through periods. Sometimes if I'm really stressed out, if there's a lot on my mind, sex is the last thing I think of.
Do you find porno movies to turn on?
I used to. I really, really used to. Now I tend not to, and I think probably the reason is because I worked on the sets.
So do you have any advice for
girls?
Any girls getting into this?
My advice would be just take it really, really slow. Be really choosy with what you do. Don't do anything that you don't want to do. If you feel the slightest bit uncomfortable about it, don't do it.